We are looking good for now, but the winter heating season is almost upon us. And if you haven't been approached yet by a salesperson looking to get you to switch from National Grid or NYSEG, it's likely only a matter of time. There are now more than 100 energy service companies, or ESCOs, offering natural gas and electricity in New York State. And not all of them are playing by the rules. Jennifer Lukey went to state regulators to get the real deal on just what they're doing to rein in these aggressive and at times misleading salespeople.
Over the years, we've done a lot of stories with folks who were approached by door-to-door energy salespeople that were anything but professional.
He would not leave.
What was he saying? Like, why wouldn't he get out?
Because he legally had to talk to me about my bill, and I'm like, legally, I'm going to call the cops.
The rates would be lower, and at the end of 12 months, you'll get a 15% cash back.
She didn't say, here's my tag, I'm so-and-so from this place. All she said was, I need to see your NIMO bill.
In Nicole's case, she called the cops, and when the energy saleswoman was charged with peddling without a permit, things got downright physical.
And she took her binder and reached out and slapped my mother-in-law with it. She was arrested.
Not every salesperson is shady, but when you allow more than 100 companies to sell door-to-door, there are bound to be issues.
Before we let all of these ESCOs start selling here, should there have been stricter rules in place for how they can do it?
There's always been stringent rules. There's always been rules in place. But as any industry, as it evolves, as it matures, as it grows, you want to have an opportunity in place to re-examine, to look, to make sure that changes don't need to be made, improvements.
The Public Service Commission regulates all of them. The agency claims its investigators examine each and every ESCO before granting approval for them to sell in New York.
When you say examines, do they look at the history of those ESCOs in other states? Do they look at how long they've been around, or what their sales tactics are?
You know, the Consumer Policy Department certainly looks at all the elements of an ESCO.
But many ESCOs use third parties to hire and train their door-to-door marketers, and often that's where the issue comes in. Since the beginning of the year, the PSC has taken more than 1,700 complaints about these energy service companies. So far, the agency has expelled one company and punished 3 others for their sales and marketing tactics.
It's one thing to just have a bad experience with an ESCO, but it's much more important for the consumer to let us know so we can take action, if appropriate, to ensure that that kind of behavior is not allowed.
The PSC keeps this website, askpsc.com, which gives all of us an idea of how ESCOs stack up when it comes to consumer complaints and pricing. So when someone comes knocking at your door, do your homework before deciding whether it's a deal you're truly interested in. That's The Real Deal. I'm Jennifer Lukey.